Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, host of the program and owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, the market has certainly changed in the last year, causing some people to wonder if their home will sell quickly and at a good price. So, what's the best strategy to sell a house here in Colorado in this market?
Well, Richard, one thing is for certain is that people just don't sell homes very often. All right, so in general, the typical home sale process usually takes about, I would say, 90 days if all the stars align. If you priced it right, if you marketed it right, you put it on the market, you got a buyer, you got a contract within a reasonable amount of time and it's sold, and then it's another month to get to closing. But it is a rather large project. It does take planning, and the processes and the contracts are different state to state. So even if you sold another home, say in another state, I've had people tell me, I've sold a bunch of homes. I've even sold a couple in Colorado, and it wasn't the same before. And it gets more complicated as times go on. Every year, they're updating our state contracts with something new and exciting in there that we have to pay attention to. And along with technology, of course, really makes a difference. So we tried to make it simple. Our goal is to make the selling process, if you do plan to go in the open market and do the traditional sale, simple, smooth, and without any surprises. So, number one is you got to meet with somebody that you trust to help you sell the home. And you want to do that maybe 2 to 6 months prior to your planned move. Some people ask me to meet with them prior to that, and that's fine. I don't mind that. But especially if you're planning some big projects and you're thinking, all right, do I remodel that bathroom or will that make a difference? I just met with somebody last week and it was an inherited home. And that was their question. Do we remodel or not? And so we had to make a decision based on how much investment it would take to get it to, looking remodeled and updated versus what it would cost to do that. And we picked a strategy that would work for them. Um, so you definitely want to have time to prepare if you do plan to go on the open market. So before we meet, we typically will ask some questions. We want to know a little bit about what your goal is as far as value, what you owe, if you've done any improvements to the home. People love answering that question. And that way we can research and take a look at what's going on in the market and try to accomplish the goals that you have in selling the home. And then if you decide to invite us for an in-home consultation, we'll sit down and we will meet with you. We'll do a lot of preparation ahead of our meeting. And we want to know what to do, what not to do. Oh, start that over again. So basically, when we do meet, we're going to sit down, we're going to take a look at the house, give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We're going to show you some similar sales that are comparable to your home. Those sales would be like what an appraiser would use if they were to do an appraisal on your home. And then we also look at what's on the market right now to position the home to be the best home on the block when you do go on the market. That way you have a really good idea going into it that you're going to be successful if you plan to do it that way. Plus, we'll give you an idea what you'll put in your pocket when it sells. We'll go over all the closing costs, and we show up with a handful of cash offers. Not many people do that, so I'm pretty excited about showing up and giving you options and choices out of the gate. And of course, this is a free service. You're never obligated to sell your home. But different homeowners have different goals about how they want to approach the sale. Not everybody wants to remodel their home. Not everybody wants to make their house pretty. Some people have kids and pets and uh, projects that they just don't want to take on. And so we can still help them because we have tons of cash buyers that are willing to come in and solve that problem for them. And will help them sell their home no matter what their strategy is. And some people need to buy their next home first before they make a move. That's actually probably the lowest stress way to do it. And some homes that I see are ready to go on the market. They look great right now. And some need work. So it doesn't matter what, you don't have to take on that big project before we meet. What we're going to do is give you options and choices out of the gate. And then you can decide, no, I'm going to do this updating myself, or no, maybe I'll just price it right and not deal with that. And some people need their funds right away. Some plan to sell in a few months. There's all these different strategies, basically. Whatever your schedule is, though, we can help you. I recently met with some folks down in Fountain, and they had, I think I've told you this story before, Richard. They inherited this home, so the sisters were selling it, and the main level had brazen hussy red shag carpet that was put down over real hardwood floors. So it was put down in the 80s, so it was probably 20 plus year old carpet by the time I saw the house. The problem with bright red anything is it's really distracting in photos. So it's not a great color for marketing. And so I suggested, hey, maybe you could pull that carpet and see what the hardwood floors look like underneath. But they weren't really comfortable with that. And what ended up being a lower cost solution was just to replace that little bit of carpet. So they did that, and they still ended up getting way over asking price. But had I put it on the market with the brazen hussy red shag carpet, it would not have worked because buyers are deciding which homes they're going to go see based on what they're seeing online. So if they don't like that carpet, they're not going to come see the home. That's all it takes to basically have people repel people from wanting to come and see your home. Now, I have another one I have a couple of these that were actually built. I had one built in the 70s. I just saw one that was an inherited home. I call it Granny's home, built in the 60s. The appliances are old. They're smaller, like the dishwasher, I think, is maybe 18 inches wide. Probably the first microwave ever built. But you know what? They work. And the kitchen looked cute. It wasn't ugly. It kind of like a retro style home. And so my suggestion in that case is I just don't think you'd get the money out of it if you gutted the whole kitchen and remodeled. It wouldn't be worth. It might be a break-even wash. I would just price it right because it is move-in ready. It's just not new and fresh stuff. And we make those decisions based on looking at similar comparable homes that are on the market right now, also what has sold in the past. And then you position the home with the right price to be the best home on the block when you go on the market. And then if you just decide to let us handle the sale, then we sign an agreement to handle the sale, and we get started on our 16 key systems in order to get your home marketed and find you the right buyer. If you plan to go that route, if you plan to do an off-market sale to cash investors, that's a different story. It's a lot easier, but they still take work and take steps. And we provide you with that as long as we provide you with the steps on what to do next, and we get permission to find you a buyer. And you don't have to worry about long-term commitments. If it's not going to work for you right now, you just cancel. We want people that are happy. So we'll give you a checklist. Okay, based on your strategy, this is what's going to happen next. Let's go. And then we help you prepare your home for sale, prepare you for photo day if you plan to go in the open market. And we start marketing right away in either case to all of our buyers. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about, what is the best selling strategy to sell a home? And when we come back, we're going to talk about the steps to make that happen. If you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
The best-selling strategy for selling a house in Colorado. After hearing all of the options, it sounds like you create a customized plan according to the seller's needs and their timeline. Barb, tell us about the rest of the best-selling strategy.
Well, we start with a checklist on, because I'm a pilot, I like checklist, right? Okay, so for your strategy, we're going to do this, 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 and this. So they know what do they have to do next. With some people, they have to do repairs. With some people, they might have to declutter. It varies for different people's strategy on how they're going to sell their home. We also offer, if they want our certified pre-owned home system, we include that, which means we're doing a little bit more deep dive on the condition of the home, making sure they have warranty in place. That way, when the house goes on the market, the buyers are very comfortable that this home is going to be a good home. The sellers are comfortable, they're going to pass their inspection, and that the systems are under warranty. Um, and then photos are absolutely critical. If you go on the open market, we already know that the buyers will decide on whether or not they're even going to go see that home based on the online presentation. So that has to be right. Still to this day, I see agents that are too cheap and too lazy to spend money on professional photography. And then you can tell, it's easy to tell that they used their own smartphone to take pictures. You can tell because they're narrow. You can tell because the lighting is bad. It just makes a real bad impression, and buyers just move on. And then home warranties are really a good thing to include, especially on a used home. Now, why do I say that? It's because if the home is not warranted, then right now the builders are really aggressive in marketing their homes. So they are providing a brand new product that's under warranty. So how do you compete with new construction? I just had a home showing request happen, and then the agent came back and said, no, never mind. They're going to go look at a new house. So even though this home was beautiful and remodeled and in great shape, sometimes the buyers want certainty that when they invest in a house, they don't want to have to fix things after they close on the house. And then we'll also really walk alongside you once you accept a contract about what happens next, because that's a whole nother process. The marketing piece gets you the contract, and then from contract to closing, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done to get it to the finish line or to get it to the point where it's a firm deal. The good news on that is you don't have to worry about showing anymore, but it does take some time to prepare for inspection and appraisal and moving and all that. And inspection is probably the biggest bane in people's side. I've even had newer homes that had pretty significant issues that they just didn't know about, right? And now they got to scramble to get bids to get that done. So, but we have a lot of experience with that. We have a lot of vendors that can help us with those kind of problems if they do come up. And then the next step, of course, is the appraisal if you're getting a loan. So generally, that's a licensed person that's giving an opinion of value and confirming the home is worth the agreed upon sales price as well as the home meeting loan guidelines. So I have one right now where the house is great except for it's got some peeling paint on the siding, little bit of chip in the window, and that's going to get tagged by the appraiser if we don't fix it. And what that means is the appraiser tells the lender, okay, the house is worth the sales price, but unless these things are fixed, you can't have a VA or an FHA loan. So we can help people prepare for that so they don't have to deal with that when they're under contract. Some people choose to do that ahead of going on the market and some don't. And then at the end, right before the walkthrough, then the buyer is verifying all these things are done. So we have to gather up all those things and share them with the buyer and make sure they're happy to get it to the final finish line. And so we will help you do all those things, and we have systems and processes in place. So if you are looking for a real estate agent to help you, not all real estate agents are the same. Give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, host of the program and owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we're going to be talking about why are VA assumable loans attractive to buyers and the pros and the cons of assuming a VA loan. Stay tuned for that.